Hello and welcome to another episode of the Gutter Space podcast. Today we are talking about the new Sandman series on Netflix, which is very exciting for both of us. I don't know how exciting it is for Ashwin, but I like to speak for him when I say things like this. It's very exciting for both of us. We have both been huge fans of Neil Gaiman's Sandman, Netflix, moving pictures on the
We're not,
screen.
we
So
are
I
not
guess
fans of
it's, I mean, is such an
It's
unavoidable
just
part of
a medium,
modern
right?
life that it's not possible to be
It-
fan of it.
It's just a medium. It's not really anything by itself.
It's a production company also, right? I mean,
Yeah.
not Netflix gave money to have this
हाँ,
thing made, so I guess
पैसा दिया बस और कुछ नहीं
Netflix.
किया.
It's not like
I'm not a
Netflix
fan.
is ever going to sponsor this podcast. By the way, if you want to support this podcast, there's a link in the top banner image of the main channel. If you want to, you can use the Buy Me a Coffee link and support this podcast. But we are quite ashamed of doing this because, as a friend of mine said, asking for support sounds like, "अरे कोई मेरे बच्चे की स्कूल की फीस भर दो, please." So we're not going to overdo it. We're just going to put the
Correct.
link and surreptitiously every once in a while remind you that you can, if you want to, support the podcast. But let's get to, when did you finish watching Sandman?
I finished it yesterday, I think.
Okay, I also finished it last night only. In fact, when you were telling me edit today's episode, I was watching Sandman. So I was not only I was not really avoiding work. I was preparing for the next episode. So I guess that also counts as
Oh,
work.
right.
But what did
By
you
the way,
just?
we are recording this episode on Monday.
Yeah, we are, because I'm super tired on Saturdays, and I figured that I want a weekend where I don't have to do anything. There is nothing on my calendar, but somehow it always ends up being a bunch of things, and I end up being super tired by Monday. So I actually, the reason I'm doing all this on Monday and other things during this week also is just so I can have Saturdays and Sundays where I do nothing. So we're recording this episode on Monday. You will probably be watching it on Saturday.
Correct.
Right. So, what are your general impressions about the series, Ashwin?
Uh, I like the series a lot.
More
I
than the
really
comics?
more than the comics. I don't know actually. I'll have to probably go back and read them and then compare the two. But I really like the show.
Huh.
Don't think as much as the comics, of course, but
Yeah.
I really like the show. It was quite nice.
The
It was nicely
comics,
done.
I suppose television comes with its own pressures, right? The comics was
Right.
slow burn. For the first 2 years, it wasn't even very successful, I'm told. And then it really became popular, and then people started to call for a ban on it because, Christian fundamentalists over there. And now there is
Right.
a series in whose development Neil Gaiman is actively involved. The television series obviously has its own pressures. It has to make itself interesting in the very first episode, and they probably didn't want it to go 2 years before it became a cult classic. But they did a very good job. I suppose the thing with the comic book was that it was being written as it was being published.
Correct.
So they were finding their feet, and as it went on, they wrote more stories. So there is less of a beginning, middle, end plot kind of thing that happens in a story. Individual stories have such things, but the overall
The
series did not
comics.
have. Yeah, the comics. But
Okay.
here they jump into the action pretty solidly right in the beginning. I mean, the first episode was predictable. He remains silent for hundreds of years. These guys get frustrated and let him go. But they did tame it down, because I remember when he eventually got free, the punishment he gave to this guy was that he will dream of his
Ah,
head getting cut off every night whenever he goes to sleep, right?
so I think he has a lot of nightmares when he gets out. He gives the other guy a lot of nightmares before
Yeah,
going.
yeah.
A lifetime of nightmares.
In the
So
series, he does, but is this exactly what he did in the comics also?
in the comics, yeah, he gives him nightmares, which he will
No.
have throughout his life.
So that nightmare was kind of specific, right? His head getting cut
Correct.
off, falling into his own lap. They did
Ah,
not show that in the thing in the series.
ah, correct.
Yeah, and also
He'll have-
there were other things, right? The treatment. Okay, there are going to be spoilers in case you haven't watched it. The serial killers convention,
Correct.
right? The character in there, the nightmare, he
Ah,
was not really as major a part of the
no,
entire huge thing as he
correct.
was in the series. Like, they made him a prominent character. So I
Right,
suppose
right.
what the series does is that it takes the overall world of Sandman, takes bits and pieces from it, and puts it together in one story. Fiddler's Green, for example, played by
Ah,
Stephen
right.
Stephen Fry. Yeah. So
Correct.
I felt like it did not exactly belong. It was there for, हमको स्टीफन फ्राई के लिए एक रोल क्रिएट करना है वैसा कुछ.
No. The Fiddler's Green was there in the comic also.
It was, but in this, like when they created a short version of to be made into one series, it felt a bit of an, like he didn't actually do anything.
He didn't do anything. Yes,
Yeah,
that is
he
right.
he came along, he helped a little bit, he talked a little bit, and then he told her eventually that I'm a place, and he becomes a place. Simple. So yeah, I
think
suppose
I
what?
can't remember. I think that is what happens in the comic also.
I'm saying the comic was not planned with a plot in mind. So
Correct.
if they're creating the series with a plot in mind and they want to make it somewhat Sandman-y, Fiddler's Green role did not seem very essential to me. Like they took the nightmare. What's his name? The guy with the mouths for eyes.
Corinthian.
Corinthian, yes. So they took Corinthian out of the story and put him as a main character in this.
Correct.
And therefore there is an essential role for him. But for Fiddler's Green, there was no essential role. Yeah. So that's what I felt.
Guess.
I'm not saying I did not like it. I loved it, by the way. And I discovered that there are a couple of Spotify podcasts also, which are basically, to promote this show. They're basically audio shows to help you sleep in the voices of Neil Gaiman and the main actor, the person who plays Sandman. It's very cool.
Yeah. I don't think I'm going to sleep listening to them. I think I'll just sleep not listening to anything. But that's besides the point.
Yeah.
Hey, do you know that it's been since the first Sandman issue was released? It's been 32 years.
I'm not surprised. It does feel oldish.
I mean,
Lord of the Rings came out 20 years ago.
Lord?
Wow. Lord of the Rings, the movies?
Yeah?
Yeah, 20 years it's been. The first Lord of the Rings movie came out 20 years ago.
Wow, this is...
Yeah, I really feel suddenly very old. These days, I just assume that everything is old because when I actually look up the dates and I find that 25 years, 30 years, I feel very old.
I am older than this thing.
Yeah. I'm the Matrix is 20 years old. Lord of the Rings is 20 years old. Yeah, the Matrix is 20 years old. Imagine the futuristic cinematic Marvel is 20 years behind us. And there was this recently. There was this other thing that I saw. Some movie where there is a future where humanity is going to Mars, and it is set in the year 2012.
2012.
Yeah. Okay. So couple of decades ago, we thought that we would be somewhere else by now, but we are not. We are actually quite a bad place.
Yeah.
Yesterday, somebody left a comment on an old video of mine, which was about the Leela series on Netflix. And he said, if Netflix is so unbiased, why does it not make similar shows about Christianity and Islam? And I gave him a list of shows that Netflix had made about Christianity and Islam. जैसे तुमने नहीं देखा इसका मतलब shows है नहीं. मतलब पहले देखो, पहले ढूंढो कुछ है या नहीं, उसके बारे में conclusion बाद में पहुंचो. Like Sandman also is kind of Christian mythology, right? So there is Lucifer, there is God, there is hell and all. लोगों को वो सब नहीं दिखता. Handmaid's Tale is pretty much a dystopia created, through Christianity. So वो सब नहीं दिखा है इनको. Yeah, Margaret Atwood. I haven't watched it either, but I know the story. I will watch it at some point when I gather more courage.
So Morpheus himself, Sandman, the Sandman, looks so much like his comic book character.
Yeah. The casting was great. Everyone was exactly the way you would think that the main character would be. Like Death was so mature and kind, and Morpheus was like even the way he behaved, the way he spoke, etc.
So I like that. I like the Sandman character. He looks very much like his comic book counterpart. That's something I like a lot. He brings a lot more heart into the character than the comic book does. In the comic book, the Sandman is very impersonal. He's very to himself. He doesn't interact with people. I mean, he interacts with people, but he doesn't, smile and stuff like that.
He actually smiled like once or twice in the entire season. But I agree, the casting was very good. I like all the characters. Like even the character of Death, the kind of maturity and kindness that we see in the story. Even not just in the Sandman stories, in the what's his name? Timothy, the Books of Magic series. What was the character's name? Timothy.
Tim something.
Timothy Hunter.
Tim Hunter.
Timothy Hunter?
Not
No,
Timothy Hunter.
not Tim Hunter.
He's not Timothy Hunter. He's
Jo
Tim
bhi hai.
Hunter.
So Timothy had an episode with death, and
He did?
yeah.
The comics?
Yeah, death is like across the DC universe, something, right? So
Correct.
at least this version of death. So
Ah.
the character, the way she's in the comics, this was exactly like that.
Yeah, I think it was quite similar.
It was so moving when like they were going around that day, and just people are dying all over the place, and coming to terms with the fact there was this baby who she took away. There was an old man. There was someone who fell off. So, there's someone who got shot, and
Correct.
that I am really happy that they did the main thing also, where this guy has a crush on her, and she says, "I'll see you tomorrow," and then he dies, and she takes him away.
Yeah,
I
that was
really
nice.
like that part. That was my favorite episode, I think.
I don't think that was my favorite episode. I think
Which
the
was
one
your
before
favorite
that.
episode?
The one before that, the one with Dr. Destiny and the whole the diner he goes into, and
That
then he
was
plays.
that I told you I can't take more of it. I just saw the boys. It was very interesting, and it was, I'm glad that that thing did not stretch across the season. It got over. I wanted it to end, but
I think
yeah.
in the comic also it just happens in one issue. I think it gets over in one issue.
Okay.
Goes into the restaurant. He screws around with all of them. He kills them while things are happening around and people are dying around also.
Yeah.
However, I didn't get the feeling that this was something that was happening outside this thing.
No, they limited
well.
its scope to the restaurant itself.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. I didn't feel like it was happening across the city, because in the comic it happens across the city. Like you get news reports from everywhere across.
Okay.
That's the way I remember it.
Okay.
That's how
what did you think of Constantine? They didn't call her Constantine, they said, and she was like
proper
it was a
pronunciation.
gender bent form of the character.
I like Jenna Coleman, the actress who plays Constantine. I like her a lot. I don't like anything she appears in though. I mean, I didn't like her in Doctor Who. I didn't like her in Constantine. I don't know why, but I don't like her in anything. And she seems very similar across shows.
Like she plays
Doctor
herself. She plays herself,
right.
like Jim Carrey or Irfan. They play themselves. They don't play a character. Yeah.
Correct. It just feels like that. So I wasn't too happy with her casting as Constantine.
Okay.
I thought there could have been someone much better who was a little more vicious seeming, but maybe had a little heart.
Yeah, it like all this Constantine had in common with Constantine, the character, was that they knew about the mystical arts, and then there was a little bit of surprise involved, like the person they thought was possessed was not actually possessed, and that they had a similar past to, like they were also dealing with guilt and stuff about having caused a young girl to go to hell.
I think that's exactly like the actual Constantine.
But there was, again, as you said, less vicious.
Yeah. He seems less vicious. Yeah. Lucifer was kind of what did you think of Lucifer?
I loved the Lucifer episode also, because the fight scene between them was like, they did not try to turn it into a physical fight the way a series might do. They kept it in the comic book way, where through metaphor they are attacking each other. I really liked it, and in fact it was much shorter than the comic. In the comic, I remember there was, I am a rock that falls on the head of the serpent that kills it, but it was like 4 or 5 things and it was over. And it was a little predictable also, like I am anti-life, all things destroyed, uske baad aur kya hoga, I am hope aur kya. It was pretty predictable, but they did it very well. The sound design, the acting, everything was wonderful.
Yeah, it was nicely done. I think in the comics, Lucifer doesn't fight the Sandman. I think the minor demon himself fights him. But other than that, I think they kept it similar. Exactly the same kind of combat that was there in that. But as far as Lucifer himself or herself is concerned, I didn't really like the casting choice. I thought Gwendolyn Christie, I think that's her name. I thought Gwendolyn Christie was sort of underwhelming as Lucifer. It wasn't a great choice for me.
Okay.
For some reason, it just didn't work for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think she was okay. I think she, like the height she brings to the thing was really something that worked for him, because to see Sandman, who's not really a short character, stand in front of her and reach only till her chest it was really impressive. And of course, the little emotion you saw on her face when Sandman says that line, ki, what power does hell have if people here were not able to dream of heaven?
Correct.
To say that line to Lucifer and to get that kind of a reaction, it was quite impactful.
Yeah, it was nicely done.
Yeah.
As such.
Also, Matthew the Raven.
I
really liked him. Yeah. who was the person voicing him?
Patton Oswalt.
Patton Oswalt. Yeah. Also very in keeping with the way the character was in the comics. Because I remember a scene where Morpheus has to go to hell and the Matthew says, it's a trap, boss. And Morpheus says, I know, and I must go. And he reacts in a very human, oh, great, or something.
Yeah, that was nicely cast. I mean, I thought it was nicely done. Patton Oswalt was nice as such.
There was also Sanjeev Bhaskar and as
everyone from Goodness Gracious Me was in the show. Have you watched Goodness Gracious Me?
No, I don't think so.
So there's Sanjeev Bhaskar. There are two other Indian women in that. I mean, the whole show is Indian. Goodness Gracious Me is an Indian show set. But
I've seen the Kumars at number 32, number 42.
Those same actors.
People, they were all there.
Exactly the same actors, yeah. So I think the witch, one of the three witches who can tell the future, one of them is the actress from Goodness Gracious Me. The church, the priest in the church where Constantine goes, that female is also from Goodness Gracious Me. So they have all these three people, and it's quite nice that he played a part in that. The Pumpkinhead. Do you know who Pumpkinhead was?
No, I don't really recall the Pumpkinhead from the comics.
You remember the Pumpkinhead in the show, right?
Yeah, obviously. I saw it yesterday.
You know who he is?
No.
You know? No. Mark Hamill.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Fine. So they did have one American in it. Wow. The rest are all British, right?
I think so. I don't think the black woman is a Brit. I don't know though.
Oh yeah, no. Even the character was American. She eventually goes to England to live there. American. Yeah. I mean, she was even playing an American character, right? She was in America, and her great grandmother wanted her to come to England and live with her. Then
I'm talking about.
You talk about
death.
What?
Death.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know if Death was American or not, but yeah, I think most of them are Britishers. I don't know why. I didn't realize that before.
I mean, it's Neil Gaiman and it's Sandman. It will be British. Stephen Fry is there and all.
Right.
Neil Gaiman was once criticized about American Gods. Somebody said, "You're a British guy. How can you write about America?" And he said, "I may not be able to write about New York the way a New Yorker would, but I can at least write about New York the way someone from Los Angeles would, because both are outside perspectives, and I'm not really that far away."
Desire was a nice character as well.
Who?
Desire. It was a man.
Was Desire played by a trans actor?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a trans actor or not. But yeah, that she was kind of.
Was Desire a she in the comics?
No, I don't know what he was in the comics.
Okay. Then just let's call them they.
So I don't know.
Interesting character. Yeah.
It was nicely done.
Who all are the endless? Dream, desire, despair, death, destiny, and delirium.
Delirium, right?
Yeah.
We haven't seen Delirium yet.
Yeah, we haven't seen Delirium. So I suppose they are planning to stretch it out for a few seasons at least.
Correct.
Which will be nice. I'm hoping it gets better. I'm hoping it does not lose the charm of this first season, because
I don't think it will, because Neil Gaiman is on old. I have full faith in that man to bring to life what he imagined.
That's true. Like, I'm glad that he's involved with the project, but then Garth Ennis was involved with The Boys. and I did not, you know, I'm saying it was very different from the comics, so it
This
is
is
very
much better.
likely, huh?
Much better, yes. Much better than the comics.
Okay, so I have not read the comics, so maybe my opinion here will be different. So this was a brief conversation about Sandman, which you can watch on primevideo.com. It's based on the graphic novel series The Sandman by Neil Gaiman. And Neil Gaiman is also involved with the making of this show. If you have not watched it yet, you should. But we will see you when we see you. Until then, bye-bye.